Hello everyone, welcome back for this new interview, this new masterclass, this time on mindfulness. And for this great subject, we are welcoming Petrina Kasperski. Hello Petrina,
Hello, thank you for having me.
thank you for being here, for sharing your time for this subject. So mindfulness, we talk about this, what it is, how we can train ourselves to become more mindful. But before diving to the subjects, can you introduce yourself? Who are you?
Well, I am currently working full-time as a senior research ethics and governance officer at our local teaching hospital here in Adelaide. And I also run workshops on research ethics at Flinders University for medical students and higher degree students. So between 1999 and 2001, I had a number of quite distressing life events occurred that just turned my life upside down. And it was through these events that I started searching for like peace and calm and just a way to gain control back of my life and to start healing. And this is how I discovered grounding and mindfulness, which was the start of my journey. And I'm also the author of the book From the Ground Up, which is a beginner's guide to grounding and mindfulness. And I'm also a Reiki practitioner and an intuitive artist. So they're my real passions. My real passion is helping women in particular in learning how to become mindful, how to stay grounded so that you can make better life decisions and just have a more, which I think we're all looking for, just a more peaceful life, which you can absolutely achieve through mindfulness.
Mm. And I think we all need more peace in our lives, especially in these
Absolutely.
challenges that we are facing today. Thank you for the
Yes.
book. You will find the link underneath the video if you're watching this video so that you can get the book. And you talked about two keywords, mindfulness and grounding. I would like
Mhm.
to start with grounding. What is grounding? What do you mean by grounding?
It's a good question. So grounding. So as human beings, we're full of energy. We're energetic beings. So if you know, like when you've got light switches and lights and electricity, it has to be grounded so that we don't get shocks off it. So human beings are not. We're not so different from a light bulb, really. So when I say grounding, it means keeping our energy within our bodies. So I don't know if
Uh,
hopefully that makes sense. So I don't know if probably you might be able to relate to the feeling of out and about in your everyday world. And you might feel like you're sort of up here somewhere. You're not actually here. So when we're feeling like we're out here, that's ungrounded. When we feel like we're actually in our body, that means we are grounded. So our energy is in our body. We're firmly attached to the earth. So we're grounded.
I really like the analogy of the light bulb, the electricity, the electric shock that we have to be grounded. And for me, the feeling you describe is, for instance, when I feel drained. That if I spend
Yes.
my whole day doing meetings and Zooms, and then at the end of the day, I feel like I don't think I've accomplished much. I don't think I've been doing a lot, but I just feel drained. Is it because
Yeah.
I've not been grounded?
Quite, yeah, absolutely. So it'd be a combination of absolutely of not being grounded and also of you've probably given so much of your energy to these meetings that you're drained. You've drained your energy. Yeah,
Mhm.
like a car with no petrol in it. That's
Mm.
exactly what your body would be experiencing.
Yes, okay. So it's really clear, and I'm keep that in mind for the conversation because I'll be very interested into techniques to be more
Mm.
grounded and avoid being drained. And so you talked about grounding, and you talked also about mindfulness, which is maybe a bit more known to the world as a keyword. But what is really mindfulness?
So for me, mindfulness is having mastery of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. So it's being grounded and present in every moment of your day. It's being aware of how you feel with your interactions with other people or events during the day. It's being really aware of your thought processes in response to people and events during your day. It's being really, really present and not getting tangled up in any drama or emotions that are going on around you. So mindfulness is you respond to situations, you don't react, because you are grounded, you are present, and because of those two key elements happening in your body, you've got complete control of your emotions and your thoughts. So if you've got, so in my day job, I have medical professionals that don't like what I'm telling them if I don't approve an application, and they will get a little bit upset about that, and they will start like yelling at me. But I stay very calm and I stay very grounded. I don't react at all to their emotions, and through that I'm able to actually respond calmly and then bring the situation right down.
So if I
And that's the
understand well,
difference.
being more mindful is switching from a reactive behavior, meaning there's a trigger and straight away the trigger we activate unconsciously a reaction. And
Yep,
generally speaking, it would be emotional rather than
correct.
conscious and
Yep.
rational. So switching from this behavior, from reactive behavior to proactive or reflective behavior, where you choose consciously and intentionally behavior, if I got it
Yes.
right?
Absolutely spot on, and learning from how, so say, I'll just say, could be any situation that you might feel very triggered with,
Mm.
and you don't react to it. You very calmly respond to it, and then at a later time you might go back and reflect on the situation and go, well, actually, this is how it made me feel, and this is what I really wanted to do, but I didn't. I kept myself calm. And because of that, the situation de-escalated very, very quickly.
It sounds so simple.
It
It feels so.
is.
It feels so hard. Some people might think that, oh, this person is very calm, and so you will have some people with a calm personality, and other people will be like very much more emotional. So are we made this way? Are there some people who are made mindful and others not? Or is it something that we can learn and everyone can learn?
Absolutely everyone can learn this. This is not groundbreaking new, only for special people that are spiritual, or special people that can feel a certain way. Everyone can learn this, because we're all energetic beings, and we're all the same. We all have emotions and thoughts and feelings. We've all had experiences in our life. We all go through our daily life trying to keep ourselves together. And some days you don't feel like you've got your stuff together. You do want to yell and scream. But by learning mindfulness, you don't ever go into that point of getting angry or losing your temper or getting upset, or behaving in a way that you wished you hadn't, because you've got complete mastery of yourself. And yeah, you can go, and I do it. You come home and you might have a cry, or I might come to Marek and have a and get all my anger and my emotions out then at home safely. But I would never do it in public in front of the person, because I've got mastery of how I'm feeling.
Mm. It, I have an image. It's probably a bit geeky, sorry, but like Star Wars, you have Jedis, and each time you have like a
Yes,
Jedi Master saying, "I'll be mindful of your thoughts,"
yes,
and to train to stay in the bright side rather than going into the dark side. It's a bit
that's
that,
it.
yeah.
That's it. Yeah, we're all like little Yodas, learning to be little Yodas. That's it.
Mm. So how can we train ourselves to do it? Because
Yep,
besides all these positive effects in our daily life, in our relationship,
yep.
um, I've read multiple scientific papers on how powerful mindful practice,
Mm-hmm.
regular mindful practices impact the brain. So I have a double question actually. Is the first one would be, what would be the positive impact on the brain,
Mm-hmm.
besides all the positive sides in terms of well-being and relationship? And the second one is, now we know all why it is so important to train our
Mm-hmm.
brain to be more mindful. How do we do it?
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll start, I'll go back to do the second question first, if that's all right.
Yeah.
So here's some really, really simple techniques. I've got more techniques in my book, and these are ones that I use every day at work or when I'm out and about in public, because, you know, sometimes even just being out and about in public can be challenging enough. So the three main ones that I will use is I will focus on my heart area. So whether I just sometimes will put my hand on my heart
Mm.
or sit like this. If you can't because you're out in public and you feel like you're a bit silly, you don't have to. You can just take your consciousness to your heart area. So it's about focusing. Look, you could focus on the back of your throat. I use heart because that works for me. You could focus on your elbow if that works for you. It doesn't matter, but it's putting your attention and your focus on one part of your body and keeping your focus there. And that brings you straight into being grounded, and straight away it will balance you up and you will be starting to go into a state of mindfulness. It's that simple. Another one that I really, really love, and I do this in meetings quite regularly when I've kind of had enough and I want to get out because it's, you know, in meetings sometimes just go on and on. And I can feel myself starting to sort of drift off and start thinking about what I'm going to do on the weekend or what I'm going to do after work. So it's very, very simple breath work. And it's breathe in for the count of 4, hold for 2, and then you breathe out for 4. So it's just in for 4, count to 2 and hold it for 2, and then breathe out for the count of 4. So you can do that as many, many times as you need to. Does that make sense, or do you need that
Yes.
clarified?
And
Or
actually, I would suggest something that's okay for you,
yeah, yeah,
because everyone is watching this video. They're probably seated comfortably and probably available to try the technique right now.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
would you be
Yes,
okay to guide us
yes,
through just for a minute, not more,
yeah.
but for each of those two exercises that you shared with us? And I
Okay,
will be your guinea pig.
yeah. Um, so we'll do the breath work. So just sit comfortably. And again, you can do this on the train, you can do it in meetings, you can do it at a family dinner, you can do it anywhere that you feel like you need it. So just sort of make you sit comfortably, sort of drop your shoulders so you're not all hunched up. And then you can just take a breath. And then we're going to breathe in for the count of 4, just slowly. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding for 2, 1, 2, and then out for 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, in for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 2, 1, 2, and out for 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. So hopefully you can feel a bit more in your body and a bit more centered and calmer, hopefully.
Totally, totally. And also, I don't know if that was right or wrong. I could feel my feet on the ground also. So when
Perfect.
okay,
There's grounding, absolutely. So that
okay.
you've gone into your body and then you've grounded. So
Mm.
that's how absolutely simple it is. Another one that's even easier, especially if you're at work or you're in a place where you can't sit there and you don't feel like you can do breath work, is just literally putting your hands on your thighs and focusing on the weight and warmth of your hand on your thighs, and that will bring you straight into your body. Because
So the
again,
weight of my hand on my thighs.
yeah, so you
Okay.
just take your awareness down to that and just see how that feels for you.
Mm. As if I'm feeling the gravity pulling me down
Yes,
to the floor. Okay.
yes,
Interesting. Interesting because for a long time, I thought gravity was pulling me down, like it was something bad. I had to fight gravity all the time. But listening to you, it feels like gravity could be an ally in a way to
that
be
best
more
friend.
grounded and mindful.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Because I don't know if anyone's done this, and dobbing myself in here. If you've ever driven for more than, doesn't matter, 10, 15 minutes, half an hour, doesn't matter. You've been driving somewhere and you get to your destination and you go, I have absolutely no memory of getting here.
Yes.
And that, I mean, that's dangerous for a start. But so before I learnt these techniques, that was basically my driving style. I would just
Okay.
constantly arrive places and go, oh, I have no idea. I don't remember the journey. And that's because I wasn't grounded. I wasn't present. I was off thinking about other things I shouldn't have been when I was behind the wheel of a car.
Mm. So for driving specifically, because obviously we can't put our hand on our thighs by driving
Yeah.
to be grounded. So is that something you do before the action, or you also have some that you focus on your breathing? Because
Yeah,
I,
breath
I
work.
feel like for being grounded or mindful, there's the mental preparation before the action to be more attentive and focused. But sometimes, despite this preparation, even during the action, we still go all over the place. So, how do
Yeah.
you, during the action, come back, especially if you're driving or you're walking or
Yeah.
you're not like sitting comfortably to your desk?
Yeah, I so with driving, I always use breath work, and actually mantras are another good one as well. Is so you could just say make anything up that you like. I mean, my favorite ones for me when is I love Om Namah Shivaya. I've used that for about 10 years now. Um, in fact, I've used it for so long I can't even remember what it means anymore. I think it is means my name is God. I think from memory, but it is so grounding. So when I'm driving, if I'm in peak hour traffic or yeah, or I can feel myself sort of drifting off and the breath work, for whatever reason, the breath work's not working, I will just sit there and chant while I'm driving, you know, breathing in Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. And I find that works as well.
Like, okay, a mantra then to
Yeah.
come back.
So you can
Mm.
use yeah, things like another one I like I'm safe, I'm secure. That's another really good one that helps.
So
Um,
breathing, I'm safe.
Yeah, and then I'm
Breathe
secure,
out, I'm
breathing out.
secure.
Yeah,
Maybe like,
yeah,
I'm safe,
yeah, and
I'm secure.
yeah, yeah. Or
Okay,
you could even do something as simple as breathing in, saying, I am grounded. Something as simple as that.
okay.
Yeah,
I am grounded. Okay, yes, and it's funny because I can feel being pulled down when I say I'm
yeah,
grounded.
absolutely. Yeah, it's so easy and so quick. And
Mm,
the more you do it, the more you'll just do it automatically. So because I've been doing it for so long now,
mm,
if I just even start to feel myself sort of drifting off,
mm,
I'll straight away automatically I'll just start doing breath work, or I'll put my hand on my thighs or do a mantra, whatever sort of comes into my head to do. But it's just automatic now. I don't even have to think about it. I just
mm.
do it.
There's two things that are interested that I hear and is super interesting in what you just said.
Yeah,
The first thing is that because you practice it regularly, it becomes easier. So it's like a
yeah,
training. If I'm not trained, it's harder. It will take time. So I suppose mindfulness techniques to work needs to be like a brain training with regularity, if I got it right.
yeah, absolutely. And yeah, absolutely. So I think they say it takes about 6 weeks to really make something to practice something for 6 weeks to really make it part of you. Um, but yeah, you have to do it. You have to do it every day, and you have to be really, again, conscious of how you're feeling. So if you feel yourself starting to feel, I don't know, stressed or um, upset, or you feel like you're actually being triggered by someone,
Mm,
that straight away is your signal that you go, okay, I need to ground, I need to
mm,
ground, I need to ground.
mm. So using triggers or things that yeah triggers our emotions as
Yeah,
flags or green lights to say okay now it's time to practice and
yeah,
actually using
absolutely.
difficulties or challenges as opportunities to train ourselves for mindfulness if I got it right.
Absolutely, yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. Yeah.
Mm.
So I'll give you an example if it's okay. So,
Yes.
so this is an example of trying to do artwork when I was not grounded at all, and I wasn't focused, and I thought I could just sit down and just do some artwork. And it just, as you can see, it is not great. And then this is an example of being grounded
Wow.
and mindful. So it took about 20 hours to do. So I spent over 2 weekends, but 20 hours of being completely mindful and grounded, and that's the difference.
Wow.
So it's like a visual example. So
Mm.
you're not grounded, grounded and mindful.
Mm.
So that shows you how powerful it is to be grounded and mindful.
So what would you say that being grounded and mindful bring you into that specific activity? Is it just more focus, more creativity, what it is?
Yeah, all of it. So before I sit down and do any of my artwork, so that's another one. I will sit and ground myself and make sure, do some breath work. So I make sure I'm very, very grounded in my body and I'm centered and balanced. And then I will close my eyes and then I will just start feeling the flow of the creativity. So I'll start getting colors and designs and shapes and yeah, what sparkles to use, just all of it. It all just starts flowing in. But if I don't do that and I think I can just sit down and just paint, then I end up
Mm.
with something like that, which is hideous. Or even actually that on the other side, I didn't even finish that because I kept trying and it ended up in tears big time. So so that's an example of why it's so important and what you can use in every aspect of your life.
Mm.
You really can.
So brilliant for creativity and for
Absolutely.
art, but also do you have other examples of when and where your training in mindfulness bring you great results? Because I know you also practice mind mapping or those Tony Buzan tools. Do you think that helped
Mhm.
you in that way also?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Because I mean, it's the same principle of doing artwork, isn't it? When you do a mind map, because you're exploring the idea and you want to unlock your creativity. So if you're grounded and centered, and when you start creating your mind map, you feel the creativity flow and you feel the ideas come in. So before, where you might only have had, say, 5 or 6 ideas or themes, like with a proper mind map, you end up with a big page, and it's just full of ideas and concepts and how they all link together. But if you try and do that without being grounded or mindful, it doesn't work. You end up
Mm.
with nothing really.
Mm. Yes, because I often hear people saying, "Oh yes, I love my mapping because my thought process is all over the place. I have multiple ideas at the same time, and sometimes really struggle to put them into form or to make them to make them sense, especially if I want to share with some people." Um, what would be your advice for the person that imagining the person who's really struggling to be grounded or to be focused
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
was is often distracted or even have probably ADHD and
Mhm.
would like to train their brain to be more focused and to be more settled. Is there a roadmap or a training program for those people?
It's practice. It's practice, 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 practice. So when I first started, this is probably 15 or longer than that, doesn't matter, a long time ago. It was just practice, practice, practice. And there'd be days when I would forget to do it, and then I'd have a really, really bad few days. And then the minute I went, oh, I'm not grounded, I'm not practicing mindfulness. And as soon as I started even writing myself post-it notes and leaving post-it notes around saying, are you grounded? Are you being mindful today? That helped me. Reminders on my phone popping up and saying, are you grounded? Just it doesn't matter, whatever it takes, whatever technology you use, whether it's a simple post-it note or you use your phone or whatever, it's practice, practice, practice,
Mm,
and learning which technique you really relate to. So whether it's breath work or just, I don't know, holding your elbows, it doesn't matter, hands on thighs, whatever it is that works for you. Just you can picture that your feet are in blocks of cement. That's another good one as well. You can picture your feet becoming one with the earth, and really big, long, thick, strong roots going way down into the earth and sort of anchoring around Mother Earth's heart, if that resonates with you as well. So then you can picture that your feet are anchored to big, beautiful crystals that are really deep in the earth. There's lots of imagery that you can use, and it's finding what works for you. So I started out with using the crystals on my feet going down, and then I graduated to tree roots, which I still use now. I still use picturing that that I've got my feet anchored in the earth with these really strong tree roots, really deep into earth, and then I picture myself as a tree as well. So, which I find the imagery kind of amuses me when I'm in the office and I'm picturing myself as this big, beautiful oak tree sitting in the office. But that helps as well. That helps me to be very grounded too.
I think it makes it also more fun, because sometimes it feels big. You feel the gravity of this. Oh, I need to be grounded. I need to be mindful. That's something very serious. But if you find a tool that, as you said, imagining that you're a tree and you grow your roots and your leaves, and it's actually fun and more captivating.
Absolutely. And you can be so creative with it. So some days I'll become my tree and ground, and then for whatever reason I can see that my tree root is a gold glitter tree root, and I've got these beautiful big red shiny berries hanging off, and my leaves are bright pink. Yeah, you can be as creative as you want with it. It's your tree. You can be whatever you want. It's fine. So you can have a lot of fun with it.
And another thing that you said is, it doesn't matter that, because there's lots of techniques, but what works, if I got it right, is not to try all the techniques in 60 days, but rather find one or two maximum that really works for you and repeatedly using them.
Absolutely, yeah. Otherwise, I think you'd get too overwhelmed, and you wouldn't. And because the key is consistency.
Yes.
So if you are chopping and changing and trying lots of different techniques every 2 or 3 days, then I don't think it would be that effective, because it's about consistency, and it's about practice.
Yeah, there's a very famous quote in the martial art world. I think Bruce Lee said that. He said he wouldn't fear the person who practice 1,000 different kind of kicks. However, he would fear the person who practice 1,000 times one kick.
Yeah, and that's it. That's the key of it. Absolutely. And it shouldn't. I don't think it would take that long to find something that really works for you either, because I think the benefits are so quick, and you feel it so immediate, that you'd probably stop at the first one. You'd probably stop at maybe becoming a tree's enough, maybe breath works enough. But yeah, it's not complicated. It really isn't complicated at all. And absolutely everybody can do it.
Thank you. I think we learned so much during this conversation. So we learned about not only mindfulness, but also grounding, what it is, why is it so important, and that everyone can learn it. We also experienced, and thank you for sharing this, guided exercises. So now you can try with these loose ones, and you just have to practice them on a daily basis as much as possible, for as long as possible. And then you will train your brain to become more mindful and improve the quality of your life, really.
Oh, absolutely. And it even just comes down to making decisions. Just be so clear in how you feel and how you think, that your decision making will be so much easier, and you'll make much better decisions as well.
Great, thank you very much. Do you have a last advice or a last message to share with the people who are listening to us?
So a really good thing to try is, try practicing mindfulness for 3 days, and journal. It doesn't have to be, War and Peace, but journal how it feels and how your day went, whatever comes to mind, and then don't do anything for 3 days. and also journal and how you feel and how your day goes. So 3 days doing it, 3 days not doing it, and then on the last day, so 7th day, go back and read your journaling, and that will highlight to you how important it is to be mindful and grounding. Because hopefully those 3 days where you practiced it, you should have had a relatively good 3 days and felt really good and just felt clearer, and hopefully your day would have had a lot more flow and ease to it as well, as opposed to when you don't do it and you start dropping everything and walking into furniture and you've got brain fog and you can't think and you're easily distracted.
Brilliant. I will definitely try this starting from
Oh,
today.
good.
I think it's a really good idea. I've been on and off mindfulness techniques, and but I never tried this, so I'm definitely gonna try. So thank you very much
Oh,
for
brilliant.
this
Thank
last piece of
you.
advice.
Brilliant.
Well, thank you so much. So I will put under the video the link to the book From the Ground Up that you can buy on Amazon. And yes, thank you so much for sharing all this, and talk to you soon.
Thank you very much.